Law Society of Kenya annual general meeting has just concluded, and the new officials, the president of the Law Society, Faith Odhiambo, has been sworn in with Kabato Mwaura as vice president and council members. I think the second session is now on course. We are going for dinner, where the awards will be made to some of the lawyers in the country. I think there's a prestigious award on the Roll of Honor and another award, so we are headed for dinner right now. I think the new Law Society of Council has the challenge of charting a path. I've served in that position before, so I speak about what I know. I think the challenge here is to balance leadership so that you ensure that you do not fall into the trap of politics while leading the Law Society. You must pursue what is right in terms of constitutional violations, in terms of the object society under Section 4 of the Law Society of Kenya Act, which is basically, Section 4 is to assist the government touching on matters of governance, public questions. So the Law Society President, I believe, should be helping the government in issues touching on legislation. They will, of course, criticize government and guide government to ensure that governance is achieved for the benefit of all people in this country. I think that is the essential role of the Law Society of Kenya. You know, some of us are, we are ODM. We understand politics. And so that is the balance in leadership. That's very important. Because when government is right, say government is right, support government. When government is wrong, say government is wrong and tell it, this is the route to follow. Help with the legislation objectively. Help with policy issues and critical legal issues objectively. Then you succeed as the Law Society of Kenya President. That is where I succeeded. And that is why I have a legacy in leading this society. Now, as I said, keep off politics, do what is right. Do what is right, follow the law. Always ensure that you have the law at your fingertips. Always guide, and your only weapon or armor should be the law, not other, as I say, irrelevant or political considerations, because you are leading a professional society, not a political party. There's an experience in devolution. As you know, I'm a senator, and I know that devolution means you involve all the 47 counties in decisions. And this is a correct decision by the Law Society. I think the Eric Federal Council decided that they move away from Nairobi to Nakuru. This is a good decision. And I think other counties should also experience Law Society AGMs. For instance, last year we celebrated the national celebration of Jamhuri Day in Kericho. Next year, I think we are going to be in Homa Bay. So even government has adopted the approach of devolving public functions. I think the Law Society of Kenya is following suit. Next year, perhaps they should be in Kakamega, and the next year, following year, perhaps in Mombasa. That is how you devolve services, so that other branch members can also know or feel how it is like to host the Law Society of Kenya function.
Members of the press, my name is Maura Kabata, Vice President, Law Society. We are extremely delighted to be here today this evening, probably tired, also heading into another event this evening, but the promise for a sustained law society that eventually transcends focus into the benefit of the Kenyan people as well as the members of the law society is what we intend to achieve, over and above an anchor on constitutionalism and the rule of law. We are entering into an interesting time where courts are being tested, where aspects of disobedience of court orders, questions as to the rule of law, and questions into over-taxation. And that is an area where we want to address the government and assist the government, because we have a statutory mandate under the act that establishes the law society. And so we are looking into yet another promising 2 years of future of the law society, but one that we are prepared to go an extra mile in terms of the challenges that we expect to find. But the purpose of the law society is not to oppose government. The function of the law society is actually to improve how government works and assist courts as well as members of the public. So I know we will be seeing each other quite severally, and we will engage with members of the media You will note also that members of the media yourselves, you are currently facing a legal hurdle in terms of how you do business, where the government is now trying to single source media houses for purposes of its own advertisement, and that is an area where we are actually in partnership with the Media Owners Association, as well as the entity that houses media practitioners, to see how we can make interventions in court as well as advocacy. So I believe we have a long future together, and I invite you, members of the press, to also assist the Law Society in terms of sensitizing what we do and the collaborations that we intend to undertake between the two entities. So thank you so much.